What's up, guys? Welcome to my channel. It's me, RJ. Thanks for watching. This is my Lumen vlog week 1. Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail about the Lumen itself. I'll put the link in the description box below so that you guys can check it out. But basically, in a nutshell, it is this device right here. You can see that. Yep. Okay, and basically it is a device that you breathe into a couple times during the day, and it measures your CO2 levels, and it lets you know if you're using carbs or fats for fuel. Along with that, it recommends macros and maybe a nutrition program or food so that it can help you, achieve your weight goals. It's a tool to help you do that. I was interested in it because I have always struggled with my weight, and I've always fluctuated up and down, and I've tried traditional nutrition coaches, and they've worked in the past. It's not working currently, and so I wanted to try a different way to approach my weight loss. And at the same time, I wanted to document my journey using the Lumen to see if it actually works for me. Every week I'm going to check in. It's part of the way that it'll keep me accountable to myself, knowing that I have to check in with you guys every week, and we'll see where it goes. If you were looking for a review, a product review, you might want to check back in with me in like 3 months or 6 months. Again, this is week 1, and so I haven't really, nothing's really happened. I'm just getting used to the unit. But what I'm hoping is that over 3 months time or 6 months time, I get enough data to actually form a solid opinion. And if I'm checking in every week, you guys will see as we get to that point. Okay, so let's get to my check-in. All right. So this first week was really about just getting used to using the device. The premise again is that you breathe into this a couple times a day, and then you get a score which guides you nutritionally and habit-wise and that sort of thing. So number one thing was building your breath measurements into your day. With the Lumen, you can measure your breath a couple times a day for different things. So you'll measure your breath in the morning, before and after meals. If you're doing intermittent fasting, you'll probably measure before you break your fast, and then you'll take one more at the end of the day before you go to bed. For me, no bother. I work in an office, I also work at home, and so it was very easy to, go somewhere to take the breath measurement. I did it at my desk when no one was looking. I didn't want anyone to think I was vaping in the office or something like that. But that part was easy, and it only took a few minutes to do. Maybe the one annoying thing that I could call out is that for accuracy, depending on the type of measurement or when you do the measurement, it may ask you for more than one breath measurement. The other thing too is, let's say you have to get up and go to another room to take that measurement. If your heart rate elevates, the Lumen will make you wait until your heart rate comes down, because it does, it can mess with the measurement or the results of that breath measurement. And so if stuff like this bugs you, if having to wait, if you're short on time, it may not be for you. Okay, the number 2 thing was the shift in macros. So I am used to tracking macros, and I am used to logging food, so this part doesn't bug me as much, but it was the shift in macros. I don't know if it's gonna be this way throughout the journey, but at least on the onset, it looks like the macros are geared towards a low carb, higher fat type of deal. I have read somewhere and seen in some of the forums that you do get these things called boost days, where they increase your carbs, and that's part of the process with the Lumen. But what I'm saying is that this week I was used to having lots of carbs, and this first week the carbs dropped significantly, and so that was a bit of an adjustment, knowing that I was going from one set of macros that I was used to to now a whole different set of macros, and that was a shift because I had to shift my foods around when I ate them and whatnot. And so one thing that I wanted to call out is if you are new to tracking food, if you are new to macros, this can be something that you're going to need to get used to. And for some people, this can be a challenge. Some people don't want to track food. Some people are not used to weighing foods and whatnot. The way that I approach it is I do meal prep for convenience. I order meal prep, I get it on a weekly basis. That is kind of my foundation for the day, and then I will fill in. But even with that, I had to shift it around because some of the foods that I was eating weren't in line with the macros. So it was a challenge. I'm not even gonna bullshit. It was a challenge for me. It was definitely an adjustment. Probably the third thing for this week was just interpreting the data that I was getting. So I can't remember if I explained but this earlier, but your breath measurements will put the result of that puts you on a scale between 1 to 5. 1 meaning you're burning mostly fats, and then 5 meaning that you're burning mostly carbs. And so it is with that data and your weekly data that you make the shifts in your nutrition or in your habits, and that kind of guides you towards whatever your goals are. And so this week I would take the measurements, and I know that I'm just starting out, but I was just like, okay, I have this number. Now what do I do? I have this number. What do I do? Right? And so this first week was getting used to that. What is helpful is there's a Facebook group for Lumen, and you can go in there and read some of the forums and stuff like that and get information from there. They also give you the ability to reach out to a nutrition coach to help interpret the data. And so I think that for now, because my goal this week was just to get used to the device and the routine, I'm not really worried about it for the moment. And if I need to, I will utilize the coaching chat, and I will continue to read into the Facebook group. But it can, getting the results and looking at the results, it can feel a little bit overwhelming because if you're new to all this stuff, you aren't exactly sure what to do with the data itself. So week 1 results, 2 days I measured 2 4s, and the rest of the week was 3s. And 4s on the measurement scale is that you're using mostly carbs for fuel, and then the 3s meant that I was using both carbs and fat for fuel. What does that mean for me in the whole? I am not exactly sure. What I gathered is that what I feel like is that my body is on the border, meaning I could get my metabolism to shift into using more fat for fuel, but there's still more tweaks that I need to make. What was cool about the week's data is looking at the 4s, I knew exactly what they were from. And one of the days that I had a 4, we had a happy hour the day before, and I was just like, screw it, I'm gonna eat, so that's kind of on me. And then the other 4, it was the first day that I had got the Lumen, and it was late in the evening, and I had just had a regular meal. And so what was cool is towards the latter part of the week, I had made some shifts in what I was eating when I was eating, and I was already blowing or measuring a more improved number, in my opinion. Additionally, I started off at my weight started off at 194, and I weighed in this morning, and I weighed in at 190. Now, listen guys, when I knew that I was getting my Lumen 2 weeks ago, I went ham the weekend before, and I just ate. It was like a last hurrah before I embarked on this journey. And so for me, historically, what I know about me is I will shoot up in weight, and then it takes a couple days for my weight to kind of even out to what it actually is. And so, yes, there was some weight loss in my first week. It wasn't expected. It wasn't expected in terms of like, oh my God, I got a Lumen and then I magically lost weight. I knew that that was gonna happen. And so weighing in this morning, that wasn't a good or bad thing. It's nice that I lost weight because it makes me feel a little bit better about where I'm going. But you know, to me, that weigh-in isn't valid. And I will be taking progress photos, and then maybe later on when I've made some more progress, then I'll feel more comfortable about posting that. But for now, started at 194 on Monday, weighed in this morning, and I was 190. So that's it for my weekly check-in. I didn't go into too much depth, you guys, about the app or the technology itself, because I'll try to save that for my other check-ins. I am trying to keep my Lumen vlogs as easy and simple and short as possible. This isn't really that exciting in my opinion, but also it's the only way that I'm gonna keep it manageable for me, because I still have to go edit this video. But I will hope to try and incorporate more of that stuff in my future check-ins. This is just week 1. So if you're a current Lumen user, please drop some tips in the comments. I'd be happy to read them. That will be very helpful in my journey. If you were curious about the Lumen, as I said in the beginning, the link is in the description box below. That will give you the in-depth detail, so that, you know, these vlogs kind of make more sense. If you want to, you know, follow me on this journey and learn about me and the Lumen in the process, please consider hitting that subscribe button, hit that like button, and that's it. I'll see you next week, and have a good one.